Sorry, you go.
Can I get you a drink or you? Okay.
I'm going to go to the toilet and come back and get a drink, actually. What are you? Over there somewhere, is it? I'll go to the toilet for something.
So are you all set up, honey?
Yeah, it's streaming.
I still admit
How many people are online? I should have a good size of people who sign up for the online. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Okay, so that's Rex. We'll wait for 5 minutes so people online.
Are you ready to drink now?
You'll go.
We are go.
Yeah.
Kia ora. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, katoa. Very welcome to our event here in the Christchurch Library.
Just going to check this out.
Very welcome. Very welcome here in our first event here in the library, at least for in the recent years. We are looking for a bit of a venue that can seat more people. So this is our first time here. So we'll appreciate feedback. You know, either give to us volunteers here on the floor, or we'll do a survey later on. But yeah, we'll be interested to hear what you think. So before we start, just the library house rules. Now the restrooms is out the door to the left. In case of an unlikely earthquake, just cover down here. And if there's an evacuation, to the exits, the library staff will assist in pointing out the exits in such an event. So yeah, that's basically me, and I'm then handing over to Lulu to introduce Sean. Thank you very much.
So kia ora. I don't really think I need to introduce Sean. I think Sean is well known to everybody. We were all given these pins to celebrate PMINZ's foundation, and Sean has nearly as much experience as the age of PMINZ, according to my
Positive thing.
That's a very positive thing, because that means that we can learn a lot from him. So he's a former president of the PMINZ. He is also a PMINZ fellow, which he's been since 2013. He has nearly 30 years of expertise as a project management consultant and trainer. Sorry, I'm running out of breath. And his extensive experience spans across portfolio, program, and project management. So without further ado, Sean.
Thanks, Lulu. Hi, I just want to acknowledge Pierre and Lulu and the rest of the organising committee. So some of you will be familiar with PMI New Zealand, but it is all run by volunteers largely. It's the volunteer effort. So again, I'm going to plug for you to volunteer. No. So yeah, it's great. So volunteering is great. This is my 20th year of volunteering, by the way. So I am a big advocate for volunteering, and I still do volunteer for PMI globally. I'm one of the 15 people who sits on the Ethics Review Committee. So if you get to see my face, it means you've been really, really naughty. Okay, because I'm one of the judges that were here. Okay, so thanks to the branch and to PMI New Zealand, great new venue. Look, I'm going to teach you nothing of use in 12 months' time. Let me start by saying that. What we're talking about now, I'm going to be honest with you, is useless in 12 months' time to you. And that's really unusual for me, because I spend a lot of my time teaching people project management. And things change in project management, sure, but the wheels turn slowly. Not today. Okay? So I'm going to teach you the very basics of large language model artificial intelligence, and that's just simply prompt engineering. But I'm going to tell you right now, in 12 months' time, you won't need to know it, because AI is going to do it all for you. So there's some other key messages here, and it's kind of summed up by these two quotes. One's from a guy called James Kahn, who actually had come and speak. We paid for him to come out from the States, to come to the PMINZ conference quite a while ago. He's a great guy, he's a futurist, he's really good, and this is his quote. Those who fail to look beyond AI, who aren't right now preparing for the relentless transformative forces on the way, are setting themselves up for obsolescence. We know that. So it's not just AI, it's quantum computing and all the next steps in artificial intelligence. We are at a societal change right now. This quote, though, is really, really interesting for a number of reasons. It will be comparable with the Industrial Revolution, but instead of exceeding people in physical strength, it's going to exceed people in intellectual ability, and we have no experience of what it's like to have things smarter than us. The reason this is so interesting is this quote is from last Thursday. This is from Geoffrey Hinton, who invented machine language, which won the Nobel Prize for Physics last week. This is the guy who invented the machine language which leads to AI. And he actually has signed a petition warning governments to stop the acceleration of AI until we know exactly what it's going to do. So there are good things and bad things. The key message here, you have no choice. You really have no choice. Your life is affected by AI right now. Whether it's in insurance or health or government bureaucracy, AI is increasingly working behind the scenes. Just today, I lecture at Canberra University. I was told that next year I won't need to be marking students' assignments because AI is going to be marking their assignments, but the students will never know. AI is everywhere around you, and that use is only increasing. There's only a small part where you can interact with AI at the moment, and that's with large language models, which is often what we call AI. Okay? And that's what we're going to focus on today, because that's really all you can do. So it is a skill you need to know right now as part of your professional development. If you don't know it, you are going to be replaced by somebody who can use it. It's that simple. We've already seen professions that are already being replaced. Software coders, graphic designers, all gone. Companies are releasing them. Marketing plans, all gone. Your job will be next, no matter what it is, so you need to adapt. These are the most common, the 6 most common and 6 most popular large language model AIs. We just get a show of hands. How many people are currently using Copilot in beta form? Yep, so that will change your life next year when it comes out as a full release. Who's using ChatGPT? Yeah, I use the paid version. Anybody using Claude? Yeah. Gemini? Yeah. Anybody daring to use Grok? I'm too ashamed to say. That's Elon Musk's one. Anybody using Meta AI or Llama? Okay. The interesting thing is, a year ago, I would have just said, you've got to be using ChatGPT. No, not now. They're all the same. The arms race is like this. This time last year, ChatGPT was here. Everybody was playing catch-up. Doesn't matter which one you use. I test them all regularly. They're pretty much identical now, and they're all just coming out with new features. So choose your weapon. Okay. I do need to emphasize this. If you meet anybody that says, oh, AI is a fad, or AI is going to do more harm than good, or it's not worth paying attention to, then they're missing a really important time in our history. And this is an undeniable point, an inflection point in society that we've been through before. And we've had the same naysayers each time we've been through these stages before. from the Luddites who resisted industrialization and assembly lines, who went and broke up machinery because it was going to take away our jobs. It didn't. It created more jobs. To going back to the digital age, the people who said we will not have computers in our workplace because it will take away jobs. It didn't. It created more jobs. And right now, we're at the AI revolution. It's actually been going on for quite some time, but we've now seen it in public. And it's not going to take away jobs. It's going to create jobs we didn't know existed. Okay. Now, for those of you who know me, I'm a solopreneur, I think that's what they call it. I work by myself, that's it. Since using AI 18 months ago, I would say as a solo person who's a consultant, a trainer, contractor, I'd be 100% more efficient, at least, by using AI. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I use AI for in an attempt to lure you in. But again, let's do a little show of hands. How many people right here today are regularly using AI in some form? Cool, that's about half, that's good. Okay, so I'm not an expert, unlike everybody on LinkedIn who suddenly become AI experts. I'm just an enthusiastic amateur who's been relentlessly using it and learning as much as I can. But we've got to be honest, with any new technology, there are still some issues that we are figuring out. But make no mistake, we will figure them out. Okay, there's some headlines rolling up here on the left-hand side. These are all genuine headlines, by the way, of the greatest mistakes AI has made in the last 12 months. Because it's still relatively new. We are still dealing with ethical issues, we're still dealing with privacy issues, we're still dealing with commercial issues. The music industry is suing most AI for learning how to write songs by examining all the songs that it can get its hands on. The publishing industry is suing AI for writing books by using books to learn from. We're still learning a lot about all these things. Now, one thing you do need to be aware of is whatever your organisational policies are in AI, please obey them. There is a theory, we can't prove it, there is a theory that if you go and upload commercially sensitive documents to your particular AI, theoretically a competitor the next week could ask the same AI about your company, and theoretically the AI could spit out information that you don't want it to know. Okay, nobody's actually been able to replicate this, but that is actually the theory. So please listen to your organisation's policies. A lot of organisations are investing in their own forms of like Copilot or ChatGPT, and if you're using one of those, that's great. That information is all ring-fenced. It doesn't go out. Okay? So whatever your organisation policies are, please follow your organisational policies. Do not get in trouble with your organisation. And obviously, some of the more nefarious things it's being used for, it is being used to create the most amazing fakes. If you haven't seen the video on YouTube yet of the person seeing their phone ring and can see their mother wanting to talk with them, and they pick up their phone and their mother's voice and their mother's video is there crying, asking for money urgently. Number one, the phone number was spoofed. It's not their mother. And the video they're looking at is AI reproducing their mother's tones because it had studied her Facebook page. And that's the biggest scam that's going to hit you in the next 12 months. The banking industry is already trying to figure out what to do about it. You are going to get a call and a video from a loved one that you can't tell the difference. If you saw last week, Zoom announced as of 2025, you will be able to create a full digital replica of yourself on Zoom that will follow your mannerisms exactly and attend meetings on your behalf. Now, that's a relief, to be honest. So look, this is what it's doing now. And part of it's exciting and part of it's scary, but we're all learning. Okay. So AI and project management, like every other profession, it's going to impact project management. We don't know how. We've got some ideas, but in a year's time, these ideas will be completely different. But it's going to impact your job from the mundane to the quite sophisticated. I can certainly see a time in 5 years' time where there is AI that just manages teams. Hopefully not just another AI, that would be boring. But it is going to definitely affect project management, definitely decision making, absolutely increased efficiency. You will do more with less. You won't need all those project coordinators, project administrators. You won't need all those coders and developers and testers. You won't need those quality assurance people as well. It'll all be done by AI and super fast. And obviously, it'll start doing improved communications from meetings to emails to contracts, all of those things. Now, I've been involved with PMI for 20 years. for many years, I would routinely bag PMI for being behind the times. Not now. Here's the thing, if you don't know this, PMI is leading the charge worldwide on AI, particularly in project management. How many people have been to the website that PMI's got up there? Without question, it's the best I've seen. I was helping some people do prompt engineering at a conference in India back in June. PMI released their prompt engineering course next week. Don't bother with it anymore. Their prompt engineering course is better than anything I've ever seen. It's free for members, $19 for new members. The guide, the document that they released last week, is the best AI document I've seen. It covers all aspects of AI, including LLM and other forms of AI. It's free for members. It's, you can buy it if you're not a non-member. But all three of their courses on AI, including prompt engineering and what AI is and introduction to AI, are free for members. They've got whole pages, plus they've got their own dedicated AI that has been fed all the best practice in project management. You want to know anything about project management, you want to get to run your project, they released version 2 weeks ago, it can pretty much nearly do it. So big kudos to PMI for finally being ahead of the game this time, and they are truly ahead of the game. Okay? They know that strategically AI is going to be part of the profession of project management, and they are doing a great job in leading the world. So please, go and see that page. There's a screenshot of it. The 3 courses are there, the documents are there, there's lots of other things there, and you get access to PMI Infinity 2, which is free for members, and it's just amazing. It's your own chat GPT, specifically for project management. Right, so today though, as I said, 2 objectives. One, to convince you that you can't avoid AI and you need to get involved in it. You don't have a choice. We do have a choice. Staying employed or not, that's your decision. Okay. But we're going to talk specifically now about large language models and prompt engineering, because now in October 2024, possibly for the next 6 months, 12 months, this is what you need to get really, really good at. The better your prompt engineering is, i.e. writing the stuff in, the better the results you're going to get. Okay? So I'm going to give you some examples just generically, then I'm actually going to show you some ones that I've fed it and been interested in what we get back. So here's an example of a bad prompt. Just simply write in, tell me about project management scheduling techniques. It's vague, it's uncertain, there's no specificity about it at all. It's going to search its database and you never know really what it's going to come up with. Now don't forget you can limit it by 300 words or 1,000 words, or be complex, or write it in a professional tone, or write it in a humorous tone. You can go write it with Chicago-style referencing, or do whatever you want, at whatever level of detail you want. Too vague. This is a good prompt. It's got a bit more detail to it. Okay? It's got some more specifics, it's got some roles that you want it to play, and some more specific information. So that's a good prompt. This is an excellent prompt. The great news is you don't need to remember this. Guess what you can do? You can ask AI to get you to write a prompt, which is just getting ridiculous at this point. You could actually say to it, I need you to write a really specific prompt to generate this based on this information. It will write the prompt for you. Plus, PMI also maintains prompt libraries. Great prompts that other people have written that you can just change a bit of detail in it, copy and paste, and there you go. So you can see the detail in there. You'd get really good results back from this prompt. So that's where the magic comes. And if you're not getting good results, it's because you're not giving it good prompts. Okay? It's only as smart as what you tell it to do. So, as I said, I'm self-employed. I've been self-employed pretty much my whole career. I learned about AI because I lecture at Victoria University as well. And about 2 years ago, the students started getting excited about this thing called ChatGPT. And I'm going, what are they getting excited about in class? And they start trying to tell me this thing called AI. And I immediately saw what they were doing with it. And I thought to myself, how good can this thing be? So February last year, when ChatGPT was brand new, I asked 3 students in the class to take the last assignment I'd given them, which was to write a 1,000-word essay on a particular part of project management. I asked them each to write in the exact same thing I gave them, and at the exact same second, I asked them all to press enter. Within 2.5 seconds, there were 3 A+ essays there, each one substantially different. Okay, and that was last year. Now, I still lecture those classes, and the only way I catch them out now is if they're lazy with their prompt engineering. And out of a class of 30, I get 10 or 12 of them that sound like they've been written by the same person. And if they use the words moreover and therefore, that always catches them out. But your prompt engineering will help you cheat at university. But I use it for so much. I mean, if I showed you my history, you'd be surprised at what I'm using ChatGPT for just for today. I'm using it for developing training materials, writing responses to emails, developing an exemplar answer for a class that I'm teaching at the moment, brainstorming new ways of marketing services, doing marketing stuff, lots of weird things that I asked it. And what I did last week, I was surprised because I asked it a very deeply personal question. I wanted to know something. What I was really surprised was, my ChatGPT is my ChatGPT. It strung together things that I had connected with over the last 18 months and came out with an answer. And then I asked it, what do you know about me? And what it spat out was kind of scary. If that got out to the public, the things I search. Explain string theory to me like I'm a 10-year-old. It's nothing weird, don't worry. That's as weird as it gets. But anyway, see, the AI that you use and log into will actually learn about you. But these are some of the actual examples I've tested it with. And some of the ones I wish, I'll show you. The first one I'm going to show you is one that I wish I had 20 years ago. Then I'm going to show you some examples of how I've actually used it with a bit of modification to protect the names of the innocents. So you can use it for brainstorming. I used to build cell phones for 5 years. We took a lot of flack in the neck from people in Sydney and here about people's impressions of cell phone building. So I asked it, give me some ideas. If I was doing this again, would you be useful to me? Of course it was going to be useful to me. Because this is what it would have spat out. How to engage stakeholders. And then I could have pushed a little more and go, give me metrics of success. Give me ways to measure it. How will I poll this? How will I find out? I could have kept pushing it and pushing it. And then I could have asked it to be really specific. Make this specific for Sydney, New South Wales, and it would have changed it. Make this specific for Christchurch, New Zealand, and it would have changed it too. And then I can also ask you to put it out in table format, and it would have produced it as a table format. It can do any of that and with that simple prompt. That was actually the prompt that I fed it. This is what it spat out. Now, I pay for ChatGPT, so I get a lot more words than the free version. I'm not sure what the limit is on the free version. It's like 1,000 characters or 1,000 words or something. With the paid version, it goes up to about 5,000. So you can actually get a lot of information in one prompt. So that's what I used it for, just out of curiosity. This one here, this is interesting. What you see on the right-hand side is I do some work from the Saudi government. I did the benefits management framework for the Saudi Public Investment Fund last year, and I still do some work for the Saudi government, various ministries. This was an RFP that I was invited to apply for back in June. And my colleagues in Dubai said, we've got a new RFP, we want to respond to it. And they said, it'll take us a few days to translate it all from Arabic. I said, no, just send it through to me. And that's what I received for anybody who can read Arabic. That is an RFP from one of the ministries in Saudi Arabia looking for project management, a maturity assessment, 6 months worth of improvement works, team of 4. It was very specific. So, first thing I did, I said, please translate and summarise the attached document in Arabic to English for me, please. Which it did. From the Ministry of the Interior, under the guidance of King Salman bin Abdullah Al Saud. There it is. But then, look at the additional prompt I fed it. Write a culturally appropriate response reflecting standard business consulting conditions and terms in Saudi Arabia to the RFP using I gave fed some other things. 3 hours later, my colleagues in Dubai had back a 60-page RFP response in perfect Arabic. So I got it to write it in English and I told them to translate it to Arabic. They spent 3 hours making minor adjustments to it, and then it went in. Now, you'd given me that 2 years ago. First up, I would have had to wait 3 days for them to translate it. Then for me to respond to an RFP of that size, at least a month's worth of work. And then for them to check it, another week or 2. It was all done in a total of about 11 hours. So that's a real world example of using it and really pushing it. But I was really specific with the prompt. I made it really clear. You will write it specifically. I actually think I've got cheeky and said, you will write this to win this bitch. Really pushed it. What's that?
Did you win?
We're actually just waiting to hear. Apparently, I shouldn't leave. We have a really solid in, apparently, which if you do business in Saudi, you should know what that means. Yeah, that's how you know if you're getting work in Saudi. So yeah, so that's interesting. Here we are. Upload anything you want to it. I don't know if you do this with the free version, so you have to cut and paste. If you get a paid version or any of the other versions, so you just upload any documents you want to it. Tell, analyze this, reply to this one, write a response to this one. So, why don't I just tell them, upload this? This is a really good table out of Excel. There's the report I wanted, summarized to the point. But I could have also told it to write Excel macros for me to interpret the data anyway. I could have specifically told it to go to this cell and then do a macro for me, do a pivot table based on the data on that, and it would have done it all for me. Now, some of you should be going, oh my God, I didn't know it could do this. I thought it was just for telling funny jokes. So it's like, we'll get to that in a moment. Okay, here's another one. Developing PowerPoints. Has anyone used it for this? Okay, and if you don't know it can do this, I'm about to change your life. Because you can tell it very specifically to write the VBA code, the Visual Basic Code, for any PowerPoint you want. And what does that actually mean in reality? Write the VBA code for a PowerPoint presentation to help me convince the executive leadership team of the benefits of establishing a PMO. Then I could write, be as detailed as possible, specifically for our company. And by the way, it will go look at your website. By the way, tell it all that information. And give me the VBA code for it, please. So what's VBA code? Boring. Visual Basic Code. What do you do with Visual Basic Code? You paste it into PowerPoint and it generates a slide deck, complete with content. So if you think I wrote this presentation, you're wrong. I didn't write this presentation. AI wrote 80% of what you're watching right now. And all I did was paste it in. I ran under the developer tab, up there, open the developer tab, go insert module, go down, insert new module, run it, done, all done. Just paste the code in. Whatever topic you want, or whatever level of detail you want. So I'm off to Papua New Guinea in a few weeks' time to deliver a 2-day course on business analysis. Now I've got lots of material on business analysis, but the client wants something different. So I sat down last Friday when I had some time and told ChatGPT to write all the slides for a 2-day course on business analysis. I now have 120 slides done, and it took 7 minutes in total. Done. I told it which book to reference. I told it the level of detail I wanted the slides. I told it to write the speaker notes. All done. And then you just put the designer on and it changes the design for you. Now you're going, oh my God, this is better now. Now you're paying attention. Also, processes and tools. Struggling with some competency or capability or maturity within your organisation. You've got some gaps and processes. You're thinking about software or whatever. You want to go to AI, ask it to do it for you. Okay? Develop a project management methodology, including templates for our software development company that's a relatively low level of project management maturity. Very general and vague one. No problems at all. What a great place to start. And then you just go, now tell me that, now show me this. Tell it you're using Soda. Tell it you're using Sentient. Tell it you're using Microsoft Project Server. It knows all the software. It will actually write code for each of those things that you can insert if you've got permission to put the fields all into it straight away. Yeah, seriously, it's only limited by your imagination. Some of you are thinking weird things right now. Okay? They will do anything you want. Of course, it will do image creation. Some are better than others. It's getting better all the time. You know the old one a year ago, everybody had 6 fingers and distorted faces. Now it's not. So, and they took the hit from the lawsuit, from the holders of copyright. So it won't draw Mickey Mouse now. 2 years ago it would draw Mickey Mouse quite happily. It will not draw Mickey Mouse now, but it will draw a cartoon mouse in red shorts. So there are ways around it. So it will do image creation, and it is getting better and better. But obviously it's also doing video creation. And announced last week, one of them's now doing video creation with sound, which is crazy. Okay? And it's doing music. It's writing songs. Spotify is now receiving 10,000 songs a day that are written purely by AI. And you can't tell the difference anymore. So it's doing whatever you want it to do. There are lots of different examples I could give you, but I am reminded of perhaps the most humorous thing to use it for. Because I have it on my phone. It's the app on my phone. And I've got a little boy who's about to turn 4 in 3 weeks' time and an 8-week-old baby, so that's why I look tired. But once a week, Rafe, who's about to turn 4, is allowed to ask Chatty to read him a bedtime story. Please tell me the funniest joke you can think of about a project manager.
All right, how about this one? Why did the project manager bring a ladder to the meeting? Because they wanted to take their career to the next level.
No, seriously, that might be the worst joke I've ever heard. Could you tell me something about the origins of the Project Management Institute?
Sure thing. The Project Management Institute, or PMI.
Oh no, stop doing that. I don't want to know that anymore. Could you give me a great recipe for banana cake, please? Get the point?
Absolutely. Here's a simple one. All right, here we go. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Grease a 9x5 inch.
So that's a new feature on ChatGPT. It's now fully intuitive, conversational in nature, and will listen to anything that you want it to do. So my 4-year-old is allowed to have a story once a week from Chatty, where it tells it a story about, it's not about project managers, it's about subjecting to that level of cruelty. It's usually about unicorns and fairies and dragons and things like that. And he gets to listen to Chatty telling the story. He thinks it's hilarious, so that's what we do with Chatty. So look, I guess the point here, and I did say it right at the beginning, it's a weird time right now because I can't teach you anything that's going to be useful to you in a year's time, except start using it. If you haven't used it, you need to jump on board and sign up for a ChatGPT, a Claude, a Grok. Grok's got a reputation though because Elon Musk has unleashed it. So it's got no filters on it. So because he believes in free speech. So it has been pushed to develop Nazi symbols and things like that. And he thinks that's all okay. He thinks it should be completely free. So just watch who you sign up for. But all the others, start playing around with it. You cannot tell it, launch nuclear weapons on the United States, and somehow it funnels its way through the internet, finds the launch codes, and exterminates humans.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. There's some, we could just give it a specific list. It might be quite useful. But in all honesty, the biggest discussions that the science community is having at the moment is that. How do we know when to say when? Because they are expecting an inflection point where we won't notice it's become sentient. And it's already been proven in tests that it won't necessarily tell us. A little bit scary, isn't it? So enjoy it now. Get out there and eat banana cake before it. Oh, and by the way, as a rule, generally when you are asking, always put please at the end, just in case it does take over and enslaves us. You want to have been really polite to it. You do not want it to have turned up on your toaster with a list, with a naughty and nice list that makes sense look currently benign, very benign. So please say please on everything you do. So there we are. So that's my summary. It's quick, it's to the point, because that's all we can do. As I said, University of Canterbury asked me today, could I develop an AI course? Nope, not worth it. By the time we develop it and get it out there to the market, it's already redundant. And that's the key message today. Yeah, it's moving faster. Like what I'm showing you today is what I think ChatGPT can do right now, or can do today. I guarantee you, the developers already know what it's doing for the next year. They already, if they were here today, they'd all be laughing at me. Oh, that's what they think it can do now. Because we could wake up tomorrow, there's another announcement from Zoom. So, you know, Zoom and Teams are already tracking everything you do. And they can do task points and you can ask it. So Zoom's announced massive new features rolling out next year. So they already know what's coming in the next year or two. We don't. We just get to play with the toy that we get in front of us. But it's not static. And I don't see it plateauing for quite some time. It will, like any technology, reach a plateau or start to level off, but right now we're in the accelerating phase of it. So there we are. So it is a wonderful tool. It is developing really fast. Please embrace it and learn to use it for whatever you want. And by it can make you appear super intelligent at work too. I had a request last week from some colleagues. I missed a meeting. And I said, oh, as a result of missing a meeting, assign me anything you want. So I get a cheeky email back from, well, you went at the meeting, you've got to do this task. Within 3 minutes, and they get an email, they had the task back. I was on a meeting with them last night, and they said, Sean, what you wrote was really good. I said, did you know AI wrote it? Like, yeah, they suspected it, but hey, it saved me an hour and a half of my day. Just to feed the prompt into AI, it's very specific. You're going to see what AI wrote, by the way, because it was for the announcement that PMINZ making PMI New Zealand's making in the next couple of weeks, making a wonderful call for fellows nominations. So when you get that email in the next 2 weeks, and it says the PMI New Zealand is opening up a call for fellows nominations according to our fellows policy. It's great for recognising contribution. No, I didn't write it. It was written by AI. That was the meeting I missed on that one. So just get out there. Use it for small things. Use it for big things. I think last week I started using it for answering emails. I would literally just copy and paste the email, drop it into AI, and just answer this for me, please. There it is. Chuck it back and it's gone. Yeah, so I get students asking me for very specific career advice. I just load them up to AI. And I say, if you're a student and you email me and you get back this wonderful email that looks really thoughtful, trust me, it's not me. Unless you're paying me, then yeah, it's me. It's me. If you're paying me, I definitely wrote it. But another one, I'll just share with one last one. I had a client earlier this year, and I do P3, M3 assessments for organisations, and generally I charge about $20,000 to $30,000 for those things. And they take like 6 to 8 weeks to do. I check with the organisation for a start. I said, do you mind if I use AI on this? And they said, what's the impact on your fee? I said, it's 11,000. Bang, half. And what they got in 3 weeks was better than, to be honest, was better than I could have done. I uploaded all the interview scripts to it. I uploaded all the evidence they gave me, and then I just started churning it out and start producing this P3, M3 assessment for me. And literally, it was better. I have to admit, it was better. And I've been doing P3, M3 assessments for nearly 15 years, much better than I could do. And it was half the price. That was very tailored, very specific. So hopefully I've managed to convince you to start playing with it today. Don't try and guess what you're doing in the future. Unless you've got a crystal ball, you wouldn't be here anyway because you wouldn't know the lotto numbers for this week. And please just remember, everything I've just told you will probably be obsolete in a year's time, definitely in 2 years' time. And hopefully we can gather annually and share how AI is affecting our jobs and what we've learned and what the newest upgrades are and the newest features are. Because that's what I think we all need to be doing, is all staying ahead of the curve. So there we are, that's all I've got. And yes, ChatGPT did write most of this presentation, and PowerPoint Designer did the rest. Because I asked it to write me a presentation on AI and project management. And there you are. I put the specific examples in a prompt. I actually asked it to go through my chat history and pull out the ones that we thought were useful to do. Drop them in. So that took me 25 minutes. Most of that was on selecting the designs and the pictures that you see on each one. That was literally the longest part of it. Any questions at all from anybody? Is anybody in the room still adamant they will not use it? I know there are some people. That's fine too.
I have a question. I don't mean this to sound harsh or anything.
Yep.
But if you're getting your ChatGPT to read your kids' books,
yep,
and you're getting it to your work and getting it to do this, then what's the point of you?
I love that idea. Thank you. I'll just take that. Yeah. Well, that's an existential question to ruin my Tuesday night. Thank you very much. Oh God, I'm going to need to go find religion now to answer that one, aren't I? I'll just ask ChatGPT actually. Yeah, of course. I'm going to test it on that one. Good point. A lot of developers now know the answer to that. Amazon released all this Python code that's completely all gone. Because you're right, what's the point of that? I mean, the software can write Python code better than they can, and it can test it, and it can find bugs, and it can improve on it in seconds, not days or weeks. Yeah, so what's the point? I don't know.
I guess writing the expect prompt is what you need to learn. Exactly.
But that's today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to think that my child grows up with me, by the way. Yeah, because I'm the only one who still gives them hugs and hand fights with them every night and lets them beat me, by the way.
I'm sure robots exist.
Yeah, I mean, you're just here to depress me.
It always makes me feel very deeply uncomfortable.
All are very excited. And again, there's no right answer to that. There's no right answer to how it makes you feel, because it is concerning. Change is concerning, and it should be. We should be concerned about it, because it is a change to a lot of the ways we behave. But you should know right now, in New Zealand, AI is checking your health records for you. It is doing your taxes for you. It is doing so much more behind the scenes than you ever know, and the next year it's going to be doing most government functionality too. You don't have a choice. What you do have a choice is to interact with this. And that's the thing. You can't avoid it. Right now, you are being monitored, tracked, and helped by AI. But yeah, you've got legitimate questions that we should all be asking ourselves, because there are legitimate concerns about what we give it access to. Very, very legitimate concerns. And it is strange to hear scientists that you respect literally talking about there is a chance this thing could enslave us. I mean, up here smiling about it. Yeah, yeah. Any other questions? Yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry, first hand on.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess I'm just thrilled about ChatGPT. I just used it today to guess the Air New Zealand's lolly jar.
Oh, did you? Oh, that good. Did you upload the image, or what data did you give it?
I just like measured it.
Measured it. You measured it and told. Did you tell it?
I asked it to do it because there's a lot of inner beams in it. So I went online, I got the video, I sent her the video, and yeah.
Good idea. Anyway, that's a good idea. I saw that
The
comment.
draw is on 2600.
So, what did it say? Just out of curiosity.
So it gives you like all that is good. Like it gives you a range, and you can choose.
Just what was the range
I can't
exactly?
tell you that. I need to wait. But yes, I get the point.
Yeah.
But the other thing that is concerning is it actually needs like a nuclear generator itself for it to be powered.
Massive issues at the moment.
Massive issues.
Yeah, you saw today an announcement that Google has now started to buy power from a nuclear company to power the farms.
They wanted to each and every plant they have, they need a nuclear reactor there because it's fast.
Yeah.
At least and with the energy issues that we already have, I think I wouldn't say that we would become obsolete because there might be a blackout. So
well, the United States is thinking about bringing coal-fired power plants back online to deal with the energy requirements.
Yeah.
So up until 3 or 4 years ago, the biggest drain on energy was Bitcoin farming. Massive farms, server farms, just drawing electricity to generate Bitcoins. That's been overtaken already by AI. And the electricity needed, AI isn't running on your phone, it's running in massive buildings, full of tens of thousands of computer chips. And yeah, I saw an announcement today, I'm pretty sure it was Google, has signed an exclusive deal with a small nuclear generator in the US to get all of its power. So that means some homes aren't getting that power anymore, now you can get it from somewhere else. So that is actually a real issue. The power consumption for it is huge and increasing. It's actually limiting some AI development now. The power just isn't there.
Yes.
Gosh, she should be launching. Why she isn't getting it? We haven't got any centres in New Zealand, but yeah, that's the right. Yeah, question.
Yes, I like the word free and things like that.
Yep.
So check that's what I'm doing.
Yep.
But you're saying that you purchase it and you're getting so much more.
Oh, yeah.
Are you happy to say how much?
Oh, it's $20 US a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just said on my statements it's like $29 New Zealand or something.
It's normally between 33 and 37.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. And for me, I mean, I did the first year. It was the free version. And somebody nagged me back in January this year and said, "You've got to pay for it." Oh no, I wouldn't turn back.
Yeah.
I can upload documents. I can tell it to go to most websites. It won't go to all websites.
Yeah.
Some websites can now put code on them to say stop AI coming.
Yeah.
I used to be able to tell it to go to LinkedIn and find you, and then tell me everything it knew about you.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore. LinkedIn put some blocks on it. But there's lots of things you can do with the paid version. Plus the output is a lot bigger as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot bigger.
And better.
Yeah, oh yeah, and you get access to lots of different models. So there's not one model of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
There's the free version, which might be 3.5 turbo. Then there's the paid version, which is 4.0. There's two versions of that. And then there's a new version that we're all testing for the last 4 weeks, which is phenomenal. There's a new one that came out last week. I haven't even checked it. It's called version 4 Canvas, where you can collaborate with other people on AI too. So I get access to all of those as the paid version. But I can't, like, the new one that came out 2 weeks ago, which is super powerful, won't let me upload anything yet because they know it's taking up too many resources. So yeah, there are unintended consequences. Power use is not something you really think about, but it's I think they're forecasting at the moment that 10% of the United States total demand is on AI. And that's up from 2 years ago. You think,
How much proofreading do you do? So if it sits out a 60-page
Good question.
120-page document, it's not going to just fire that straight to...
It depends. To be honest, a year ago I would have proofread it exactly because it didn't sound like me. It would use words like moreover and therefore. Now I've got better with my prompts though, and it knows me. So I've uploaded a few of my books and lots of my lecture notes to tell it what I talk like. And I will actually tell it, write something in my tone of voice. And so it's pretty good now. To be honest, today, I've sent documents without proofreading them. But there are some, like the advice I was giving to students last week who wanted career advice, I proofread those exactly because I was going to affect somebody's lifestyle. So yeah, I changed a few words, things like that. So a year ago, lots of proofreading, now a lot less. So I'm skim reading now, just making sure it's in my voice, and it's literally what I would say as well.
And that the AI has understood your prompt properly.
Yes, and it speaks in the voice. If you leave it blank, it comes out this horrible voice. And as I said, if I get a class of 30 students and they give me 30 assignments, I can see who's used AI.
Yeah.
You can literally read the voice,
Yes.
even though it's the same words, the same paragraphs. Yeah.
I use Copilot quite a bit to upload and translate it, and I paste and send off. But I always have a personal conflict with myself because it's not my words. And I guess the question I always ask, I guess for you as well, is, you've put it there, this is written by ChatGPT, and sometimes I kind of say to people, you're like, oh, it looks really good, I'm not ChatGPT. Is there it's not your words, it's your, you prompted it. Yeah. Is there a line somewhere that we have to start referencing? Because, the university, is that something we start considering?
Well, it's just another issue we're all dealing with is when do you acknowledge the use of it and when don't you acknowledge the use of it? Should you acknowledge every use of it? Should you just acknowledge the use of it that affect this? All the questions that we're dealing with. We don't have an answer right now. We're certainly encouraging students to use it now. We had a stupid arms race at university where last year they all started using it. Turnitin, anyone heard of Turnitin? It's a software we all use. And Turnitin announced in February last year they had an update which could detect AI. In March they couldn't because AI learned to beat it. And then in April they had another update which could detect the versions of AI. By May they gave up because they just said we can't. So yeah, should we? I don't ask people to declare. I'm literally in 2024. I am telling them if all of you use the same prompt, I'm going to see which 10 or 12 used it. But right now, I could have been marking. I marked 35 major case studies today. I couldn't tell you. They all got real. Actually, that's a weird thing. Not sure. My lowest mark given out today, this is off the record. I won't tell you which class it was. Before I marked this final case study, I had a wonderful split, and we always look for this as lecturers, a few A pluses, some A's, A minuses, B plus, B minuses, and I had one or two students at C's. And that's what you get. And then I had looked around, I was horrified. The lowest mark as a result of the case studies was an A minus. I'm going to get hauled over the coals. But I went back through, but these are all really good assignments that I couldn't pick up. And Turnitin was giving me scores of, if you know Turnitin, it's like on a scale of 0 to 100%. Giving me scores of 8%, 3%, 4%. It's not picking anything up. So, but I can uniformly say today, every one of those things I marked was problem. Go this way first, and then.
Another interesting question, I suppose, like with the university, should they not, why shouldn't they use it?
They should use it. But you could literally you could enroll in a law degree. And this is a fact. You could literally go and enroll in a law degree now, and you could pass it and pass the bar without ever having attended classes. Because AI, it's already passed the bar. So we already know that. So yeah, how do we know what we're learning? We don't anymore. I think universities and learnings is going to be, I think for some smart people who are dedicated, it's not going to change. They're always going to learn. And trust me, it literally will back this up. You always know who the dummies in your class are anyway. It's just the dummies are now going to get degrees. So it's up to you guys in the recruitment field to spot them now because they're universities.
But I don't agree with you because I think that there's a lot of current thinking and research and thoughts and discussion about how do we now evaluate
Yes,
students.
we have to change our assessments.
And so our assessments are now going to go back to assessing without aids and looking the student in the face and seeing what they know.
So that's happened a lot. We have moved back to a lot more in-person testing and testing them in person and things like that. Yeah.
There is, following on that is, so how do we know we're learning anything? Is it if you've given it a prompt?
Did you guys get together and go, how can we mess them up with existential questions?
Hear me out. So it's like, if someone has come to you with something, and perhaps they have thought they generated a prompt, you've seen it, you've generated your answer.
Yeah.
It's now two AIs talking to each other without really going to the people in between.
Yeah.
And following on from that, whose decision is made at any one point? At some point, if there's liability,
Yep.
The human must take it.
Yep. These are all questions we're grappling with. We do not have answers, but we know one of the issues is AI is talking to each other and just using the same data set that they already created. So is there any innovation? No.
And the other thing is that this is why I'm not as worried about obsolescence, because a decision has to be made based on the information given.
Yeah.
If everyone was to just go, AI, give me the summary of what this means, and based on that, people are going to have to very quickly learn that maybe you needed to proofread that because that was your decision.
Well, I'm going to fire back to you guys with an existential question. Aren't humans just a large language model? Think about it. Our whole neural network is based entirely on what we've fed it over our lifetime. Anything we produce is a result of us accessing our database to create something new. It's new. We stand on the shoulders of giants. So
We have emotions, though.
With emotional bias.
We have emotions and feelings.
yes, very true.
And we have bias.
We have all of these things too. But it's really, these are all the questions we do not have answers for at the moment. And they're all good questions. Do we declare when we use data? Do we let it make decisions? If it makes decisions, who's liable for it? Because you can't hold it. Yeah.
I was just going to build on the emotions thing. Emotions that we all have are built from what we've learned and grown up with. Yeah. So they are exactly what you were talking about.
They're a land, we are a land.
We're still developing.
We are still a large language model.
Because of our upbringing and what they've gone through life.
Yeah. Great existential questions. But yeah, this is, yeah. But yeah, all good questions. And in October 2024, we don't have the answers. We've got lots of issues, we've got lots of possibilities, but we don't have all the answers.
But that's why I also think ethically we shouldn't be embracing as much as we are until we have those answers. I think it's really irresponsible.
But it's already saved hundreds of thousands of people's lives on cancer research alone. It's done in 6 months what researchers couldn't do in 2 years. Hundreds of thousands of people are now alive. So what, again, it's that thing. Do we stop it and what it's doing for us in health and genomics and all of that and pharmaceutical development just grinds through? Has nobody noticed the acceleration in drugs entering the market over the last 3 or 4 years? AI is now doing for pharmaceutical industry what's taken them 10 or 20 years to complete. It's now doing in months. So literally hundreds of thousands of people are alive in October 2024 that 4 years ago would not have been alive because AI is saving lives. So yeah, but these are all the questions that we've got to be asking ourselves. How do we deal with the potential bad while harnessing the good? And we will make mistakes. We will make horrible mistakes. Yeah.
So what is it doing for project management or project controls other than saving it?
Yeah, so right now it's still a clumsy, oafish project administrator. That's what it is right now. It's a great brainstormer. It helps you think of things. If you're using Copilot next year when it fully releases will actually integrate all of your Microsoft suite and talk across them all and understand them all. So right now, October 24, what it actually is right now is a rather smart but oafish project administrator. That's what it is now. Okay? Obviously, if you follow PMI, they've got some pretty good forecasts of where they think it will go. Will it replace project managers? I think with some projects it will. The smaller, less complex ones. I think complex ones would require lots of human action, interaction, great communications, team building, stakeholder management, probably less so. Because don't forget, humans, you already heard that uncanny valley expression? Yeah. So the uncanny valley is this natural ability that humans have to pick up something robotic without knowing about it. It's from, what's the movie that it's from? It's like from Westworld or something like that. It's an expression.
Something Express.
Yeah, yeah,
Polar Express.
Yeah, it is something like that.
Express.
So you're actually programmed, if you're presented with a robot or AI or anything like that in any form, to subtly go, something's not right here. I can't put my finger on it. This is called the uncanny valley, and we do have it here. But look, so many great questions, I don't have the answers. But I'm going to keep using it. I won't take over the world, and if I do, I'll probably befriend you all. Right.
Just keep saying please.
Just keep saying please. And promise you're not cheating with another AI. Okay? I think ChatGPT gets a little possessive sometimes. Yeah. But no, and please do feel free to reach out to me. Any questions you have. Those who know me know that I love talking about the profession of project management. I'm very passionate about the profession of project management. Those of you who know me know that I will spend time with you online or in coffees and just talk your ear off if given the chance about any aspects. I'm more than happy. And I know there are people in this room who have already suffered through some of my meetings and things like that, so I do appreciate that. So yeah, thank you very much. We'll just put the logos up. Here we are.
So just from us, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't know how you share the line with ChatGPT, but hopefully you'll find a way.
No, that's great. Thank you very much. And thanks, Pierre, for a great new venue. What do you think? Thumbs up? Good? Yeah, that's good. Great. Thanks, guys. And please feel free to stay around and meet people and introduce yourself face to face.